Yay, Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to the inaugural episode of the weekly, second episode of the weekly Phantasy Star Online 2 podcast, recorded live on March 15th, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and along with me are Winsock and Zance. Say hello, everyone.
Hello there!
Yo!
So, Sega dropped quite a doozy this week. We are now confirmed for the start of the open beta for Phantasy Star Online 2 in the West, and that is on March 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. With that knowledge out there, I thought what we'd do is talk about what we're going to do each when the servers come up. Zance, since Winsock started us off last time, why don't you go first this time?
Okay then, so ending off on the closed beta test, I was Bouncer Hero. I ended around level 56 if I remember. So I'm debating right now if I want to stick with that or start leveling up a different class. I already started making a Dex Max, so I might level Braver. That's what you started with, right, Winsock?
Yeah, I started off with Braver.
So yeah, I might do that or just start getting my alt characters. Which, by the way, make alt characters. Very useful for not only Meseta, but for skill tree reset passes whenever balance patches come out.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably continue leveling it, probably just so I can get to 75 at least, and then start leveling other classes. I don't know. I want to try Force out because I've never done that. Anyway, Winsock, what about you there?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing Braver/Hunter. I was going to try to work towards Phantom, but I think I'm going to switch over to Hero when the Scion classes come out. Mm-hmm. For those that played Japanese servers, that is what the rename is for Successor class. So got to get another mag for striking, or melee as they call it on NA, to do that transition, but it won't be a hard transition over to Hero. But after that, it's mainly just going to be, my plans.
Too many renames.
Yeah, too many renames. It's going to take some getting used to get to the swap over to the new naming scheme of things. The other thing I am going to be doing is probably just getting to level cap during open beta on the first two classes, Braver and Hero, or no, Braver and Hunter, and then probably just do my weeklies and dailies and casually level up other classes to try to get those boosts, because when you hit level 75 with a class, you get an account-wide boost for all your characters, and it's slight damage boost, photon power, and HP, I believe. I think. Yeah. So you get. Go ahead.
I think it depends upon what class we're talking about. Each class has a different boost. So, like Braver and Bouncer, they'll give you Dex boosts. Hunter, I believe, gives you a bunch of attack boosts.
Yeah. So, like they were saying, it's different things. Different classes give you different boosts. But my goal is to have every class 75. That way, my main class benefits from it.
Same here.
It looks like I'm going to be leaning towards Hero. What about you, Prince?
As for myself, I kind of left myself in an interesting situation where my whole bank was full. So my first plan is to head straight for my room and see if crafting has been added yet. If it has, boy, do I have a ton of stuff to desynth. As well as the fact I need to customize a couple of photon arts. I am so sick and tired of waiting to be able to craft Sacrificial Bite as a hunter, because that changes how your step attack works. And without that, I had to resort to Nova Strike instead. I also have some unfinished business with the Glacial Machinery Extreme Quest. I got up to floor 60 in that, and I want to be able to knock out the final 10 floors ASAP.
Wow, congrats.
And it's possible a certain NPC may have appeared that can provide me with extreme passes. And then, of course, I also want to just take a general look around and see what's what's been added to the game, where are all the NPCs. We know for a fact that one of the NPCs has not moved to where they are on the Japanese server at this point, and we'll get into that a little bit later today. But those are kind of the first three things that I'll be doing. Aside from something else I'll be doing, which actually makes for a great segue into our next topic, which are the premium packs.
Oh, yes.
Now, let me preface this by saying that nothing that we're about to bring up is required to enjoy the game. That said, while Phantasy Star Online 2 is a free-to-play game, Sega is going to be rolling out a few premium packs which contain cosmetics and quality-of-life items. So let me go ahead and bring that up here at this point. We're going to start with what is called the Sonic Collaboration Edition.
Sonic, yes.
So, the time to return to Oracle is almost here. Become a founder by purchasing the Sonic Collaboration Edition, which includes several amazing in-game items and unique outfits and accessories. So they start off saying, "Greetings, operatives. The time to join ARKS is almost here. Our Xbox One open beta test will begin March 17th, finally bringing one of Japan's biggest online RPGs to North America. To celebrate this historical moment, we are proud to announce our Founders Pack, the Sonic Collaboration Edition." And they give us a little video here to play. Let me go ahead and get that going. These are going to be all the cosmetics that you get from this. So we have a Sonic Suit F, which can be worn by females. And then there's also...
It looks okay.
Yep. And then we also have a Sonic Suit M. This can be worn by males. Now, they don't specify if it's Human, Newman, and Dooman males and cast males, or if it's...
I don't think it's cast males.
Usually when it comes to costumes like that, it's just the full costumes, and cast can wear it.
Oh,
it
cast
just
can wear costumes?
Yes, in JP, there's costumes that casts can wear, and it just makes them look like a human. Like a normal human.
And then...
Also the Sonic hair. I like the Sonic hair,
the Sonic hair is nice.
And the mask.
And the Sonic mask accessory is actually something that's been on the server, on the Japanese side for a while. And then we also have these emotes, one which
That's what I want.
turns you into Sonic.
I love
there.
the Tails emote there.
And aside from that, there's also a number of other items that you can see down there. So starting March 17th, you'll be able to purchase this special bundle, which includes several items inspired by Sega's legendary icon, Sonic the Hedgehog, in addition to inventory, storage, expansion items, 30 days of premium service, experience boosters, scratch tickets, and more. So let's kind of go through this list here. So you get the Sonic...
It's the price of a new game. Oh boy.
Yeah, definitely. And actually they do answer that question here. They call it... outfit outerwear, and outerwear is something that any of the races can wear. It used to be that you needed either a regular edition or a cast version of something to wear it, but outerwear kind of took care of that issue. But it's sort of its own separate costume system from just regular costumes that you could put on. We, of course...
Yeah, it's known as layer wear.
Yep. Then we got the two Sonic hairs, one for Sonic, one for Tails. We've got the emote number 602 Sonic Tails. You get the Sonic Knuckles, which is a weapon camo, which is something that...
You have Knuckles.
Yep. And Knuckles. And Knuckles and Knuckles. You got the Sonic Mask. And then this is where we start...
the good stuff.
Now we start to get into kind of the really interesting stuff here. So, this Ragdoll memory here. We're going to get a little bit more detail about this in a moment here. But what the Ragdoll memories do is they allow you to purchase a costume based on the original Phantasy Star Online. Now, these are not...
Or other types of cosmetics stuff.
Now, this is not enough memories, or at least based on the Japanese version, this is not enough memories to be able to get an entire outfit. So you might be able to get the outfit, but you can't pick up one of the section ID icons or one of the hair or head accessories with it. You also get 5 of the inventory expansion 10s, And what this is it is a permanent addition to your character, and it's not across the account, it's just for the character. It expands the number of item slots that they have by 10. So you get 5 of these, so you go from 50 slots up to 100 slots. And anybody that played the closed beta tests will know those slots can fill up really quick.
Mm-hmm.
You also get a premium set of 30 days, and what premium does is it gives you several quality of life things. It gives you a 50% booster to your as a tri-boost, so it gives you a 50% extra experience, Masada, and rare drop rate. It gives you access to your room for 30 days, which lets you get into the larger versions of the rooms, which you can expand out to 3 rooms. It gets you 30 days of access to the player shop. Now, you can also get the My Room and My Shop function through a combination of through fun, as well as X cubes as well, or at least the My Room you can get through X cubes.
But you can get fun points with X cubes, which you could then use the fun scratch for the shop tickets.
Well, the thing is fun is a scratch. It's random. With the X cubes, it's guaranteed. You get this amount of X cubes, you get the 3-day shop pass.
Or 1 X cube.
Yeah.
Yep. And then there are also some other things in there, like getting access to 3 additional camera angles. You get more collection files by running with premium. If crafting is if it's active, then you get 3 lines in the crafting menu. That of the queue of 9, I believe the last 3 will open up with just straight AC. So it's a lot of quality of life stuff that comes with the premium set. I think also, based on what I was seeing from the manual that leaked a while back, you also get 50 additional item slots for your character, but I'm not 100% certain. That one is going to be subject to change, because that's a difference from the Japanese version, if that's actually true.
Yeah, don't use inventory and character storage expansions until you're absolutely certain about your character sex and race. So basically, once you know who your main character is, then use those tickets.
Yes, that is a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for mentioning that, Doom Dragon 83.
Yeah.
So also, if I'm not mistaken, within the premium set, you do get a EXP boost out of it as well.
Yep. It's only about 50%, I think.
It's 50% is 50%.
Yeah.
That was the tri-boost I mentioned.
Yeah, okay, I must have not heard that. Yeah, you get the tri-boost.
The premium drinks.
Premium drinks. More, you get double the fun points when you do stuff.
Yay, fun!
Yeah, premium drinks. I'm trying to remember what else that you get out of premium set.
Trading.
Yes, trading. But both parties have to have premium for that to work.
And then I believe there's also the double login boost as well for this login stamp.
Yes. Double login.
So and what that is every day that you log in, a stamp will be placed on this card. Each spot on that card has a different item. So you basically double it up. And sometimes there are also campaigns that will give you even yet another one. Typically those happen after like major events.
Or PSO2 day.
That's true as well. Which is an entirely different topic, but I guess since we're talking premium, we might as well talk about that real quick here. The second of the month is, and this is based on the Japanese version. We don't know if this is coming to the North American version yet, but the second of the month is what's called PSO2 Day, and that has a bunch of, that has a tri-boost applied to everything, plus you get, I think, a Tokyo Gold Key, as well as 22 Star Gems, if I'm not mistaken. And then, in addition to that, also, the 22nd of the month is a second PSO2 Day specific for premium players. So, if, say, you've got a bunch of bonus keys stored up, once again, we don't know if these are going to be in the open beta or not, but bonus keys basically give you a way to boost your experience up through playing certain missions. They're their own quest type, essentially. But
yeah, you don't want to use the Silver Tokyo ones. Save those to make into a gold. Magatsu ones, just use them.
But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that comes out of the premium set. Typically, the price on that is around $13. And we'll get more into price.
Yeah, it's 1300 AC.
Yeah, we'll get more into pricing in just a moment here. So aside from the premium set, you also get the Mission Pass Gold ticket, and based on what we were told,
Which we barely know much about.
exactly, what Sega did confirm is that this is not one of the bonus keys that you see on the Japanese side, what we were just talking about. This appears to be more related to the Battle Pass that was leaked from the manual, which is, we still don't know too much about how that's actually going to work. Apparently it's supposed to be something that goes in addition to the rest of the mission, or rather ARKS missions, but we don't know much more beyond that at this point. You're also going to get a beauty salon free pass, and this lets you change your character except for very specific things like changing your character's colors. For that, you're going to need what's called a color pass instead. You also...
And everyone should already have one if they did the closed beta test and didn't use it.
You also get 5 of the character storage expansion 50, so that's a total of 250 slots that gets added to a single character.
Just so useful.
Yep. That's going to be one way to add character storage expansion. The other way to do it is to just create alts and just turn them into bank people, basically. You also get 15 of the experience earned plus 150%. So whenever one of these is active, it lasts for an hour and it gives you 150% additional experience. That's on top of any other boosts that are going on at the time. Same for the...
I wonder if these are going to be the AC versions. Which, yeah, the AC versions do last for an hour.
You also get 10 Tri-Boost plus 125%. Typically, you can get those daily off of the Star Gem shop, but these are still nice to have, especially when it's urgent quest time. You're going to get 500 grinders, so that lets you grind up any weapon or unit or ring that you need to level up to make it more powerful. You get 12 AC scratch tickets, and these, the way that the cosmetics system works in this game, is it is a scratch, and so basically you're gonna get a set of 3 boxes that you can choose whenever you do decide to scratch a ticket, and each one of those boxes could give you something different. The odds of what each item being obtained, I believe, is going to be posted on the official PSO2 site. They just haven't revealed that to us quite yet, but I think
And actually, during the closed beta test, I was looking at the fun scratches, and they showed the odds in the game as well.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, cool.
So yeah, have fun with the outfit, gotcha.
And then lastly, you're also going to get 99 of the Great Enhancement Aid 50%. Now, my understanding of what this is that this is going to be specific to what are called new type weapons, and with the way that new type weapons work is you basically smash a bunch of other weapons into the main weapon that you want, and by doing that, it then makes that main weapon stronger. And what this does is it increases the chance of getting what's called a great success from the typical 10% up to 60%. By adding an extra 50% on top of that. And whenever you get a great success, that means that it grinds further than it normally would have.
1.5 times more.
Yep.
If I remember correctly. And there was something else. Oh yeah. I believe in NA they got rid of the old type and new type. It's just the new type weapons. Yeah, Sega should have gotten rid of and converted the old type weapons long ago. Yeah, that's true. And I think that's how it is in NA, because I didn't see any kind of old type weapons when I was playing the closed beta test.
Yeah, same here, and that's going to kind of become an issue potentially for titles, which is a topic we'll be getting into shortly here. But yeah, so total on this is going to be $59.99. But when you do the math out for this thing in terms of what the typical cost is on the Japanese servers, it's actually a really good deal. You're looking at about a 40 to 50% savings off of what the normal price for all of this. Plus, you get these cosmetics that you can either use as soon as you're on the server, or hang on to them and eventually sell them on the player market for just a ton of Meseta. There are some cosmetics that are just unobtainable anymore on the Japanese server, so when they do show up for sale, they sell for hundreds of millions of Meseta. So it can be really lucrative to hang on to cosmetics for a long time.
Yes. Also, do we know? I haven't seen anything, but I don't think we're not gonna know what AC scratch we're getting until we get into the game Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't think they've said anything.
I don't know. Yeah, because I know they're giving out the AC scratch tickets. I think it would be dumb of them to give that out without having some sort of AC scratch up.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. We don't even know if they're going to have a Star Gem scratch or not. We do know that there was a fun scratch, though.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
So we'll see.
That was during that initial time. It wasn't during the extended, though.
Yep. And then, aside from this premium pack, we also have a second one, the Ragol edition. Now, Winsock or Zance, do either of you want to take this?
Sure, I'll talk about it here. So, the Ragol edition here, it's going to be less than the Sonic one. Here, I'll talk about it here. Phantasy Star Online veterans and newcomers alike, welcome to Oracle. Today we are excited to announce our celebration of the Phantasy Star Online legacy with the Ragol edition. Many series veterans had their first PSO experience by exploring the world of Ragol and participating in the story of Rico. With the currency known as Ragol Memories, you can pay homage to that world by purchasing PSO-related outfits, mag devices, accessories, and more. So there's only 4 things that are going to be included for this, and it is $30. So you get 10 of the Ragol Memories instead of 5. The premium set, 30 days, Mission Pass Gold, and 12 AC Scratch tickets. So $30 for all this. Honestly, it doesn't seem as good as a deal as the Sonic one.
No, I agree with you on
I
that.
agreed as well here.
Pretty much. Actually, I don't. It's still a deal,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, because it's $13 for a premium pack.
Yeah, I also hate how PSO
And
related
then-
items are tied to the memories again.
Yeah,
Because that is how it is in JP.
Yeah, so the premium set is 1,300 Meseta or 1,300 ARKS cash, which is about $13 US. And then you have AC scratch tickets, which each ticket is 100 AC, so that's $12 right there. So we're looking at $25, and then you got the gold pass, and then the Ragol memory. So you're getting a little, like, I would say you're getting a little bit of savings, but not as much as it would be with the Sonic collaboration one.
Yeah, we really don't know how much the Mission Pass Gold tickets are going to sell for normally. That's kind of the big variable here.
Yeah. And in the leaked manual, it said that the gold passes would be bought with Star Gems.
Yes, that is correct.
Looks like it also says here it's limited to 1 purchase per account, but there's going to be a separate Ragol fashion pack which will be available for multiple purchases.
Yeah, so I'm thinking the fashion pack is just going to be just a bunch of Ragol memories. Yeah, just that's what memories in it. And if now, sadly, I will be one of the ones that will purchase probably just the fashion pack and not the premium, like not this, not the Ragol pack. But I will be getting probably the fashion pack because there's a bunch of stuff in there that I would love to have out of the Regol memories.
I'm just getting the Sonic one.
I'm going to get the Sonic one, but I'm not going to get this one. If I see what the fashion pack looks like, I'll probably end up getting that.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm probably doing just Sonic and then maybe the fashion pack as well, depending upon what's in there. We also have this image down here showing where they are located. And something I want to point out about this is this is still located on the second floor. This person still has not moved down to where they typically are near the recycle shop, at least compared to the Japanese version. So it's going to be a big question of just what NPCs are actually where once again in this in the open beta test.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take a look at that.
And if you want to scroll down just a little bit more on that screen, you can see everything that's included that you can get out of the memories of the Regol memories. You get like the PSO2 or PSO posters from the original PSO that you can hang up in your room. You get the 3-class replica outfit and then accessories. Card weapon camo, evolution device, Needler. Now, for those that played PSO, that is Nidra. Nidra. That's the translation they used for it. Was Needler. But there it says and more.
Evolution device. So that's going to be for a mag.
Yes, that's a mag. It'll make your mag look like the Nidras.
Nice. And also, I remember one of the accessories being the red ring. So if you were ever frustrated at never getting the red ring after so many Towards the Future runs, here, you can get your red ring so you could show off, oh, hey, you have the red ring. Finally.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't give that accuracy boost anymore, but I have it.
And if anybody isn't sure what the card weapon camo is, that is quite literally one of the cards that was used in Phantasy Star Online Episode 3 Card Revolution. I'm not sure how many players actually remember that game, but that was actually a card strategy battle game compared to what Phantasy Star Online Episodes 1, 2, and 4 were.
And it wasn't that fun, in my opinion.
Oh, and it's going over the jukebox.
A whole new world. Love that song.
So there's a bunch of music from the original PSO that you can buy from, I think it's Fun, right?
Yeah. They're talking about Fun from the Fundamentalist Edwall and then the Funthorium.
Yeah. So that's over by the recycle shop. You can go and buy those, but you can get the different soundtracks. Now, with premium, does it replace the sound everywhere you go? Because I know on like standard, it's only in your room. It doesn't replace like lobby.
No, it's the same thing. It's only in your room.
Okay,
yeah.
It's only in your room.
I wish it would replace lobby. Then I could always have Eggman playing all the time.
I always had Burning Rangers on.
Oh yes, Burning Rangers, my favorite Saturn game.
I still have the Burning Rangers twin machine guns in my stash on
Nice.
or in my bank in Japanese servers.
Did you increase the special ability on them to level 3?
No, I did not. There's just still the way you get them, and I just left them just like that. I did not even try to up the special ability.
Yeah, they actually do more damage to the fire when you do that. And what we're talking about here is a mission which I hope we get eventually on the North American side called Ark Ship Fire Swirl. It's quite literally a takeoff of the Central Dome Fire Swirl quest that was back in Phantasy Star Online.
Nice.
And you run around like a fireman, just putting out fires.
Yep. So basically, you're playing Burning Rangers.
Yes. Yeah. And don't get us wrong. There is fighting in there. You do have to kill NPCs, like mobs and everything. But
I know, but
you're
most
putting out fires.
Most of Burning Rangers, you're putting out fires
with the Burning Ranger soundtrack in the background the entire time you're doing the quest.
Oh, AK Diley, thank you for the raid. Welcome to the podcast, everyone.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for the raid, AK Diley.
Yep.
Alrighty, so that covers the premium stuff, but Sega's also put out several other things in the last week, including several guides. First of which is claim all the titles. So what this is, it starts off, you did it. You single-handedly completed that quest, and now the title is yours. But it's not in the title's ARKS ID submenu, and the item isn't in your inventory. What gives? Don't panic. It's just that you need to visit the title counter and speak with the title keeper, the Chisis, who is naturally the keeper of titles. Upon speaking with her, a window will open that displays any title recently earned. Then, a more complete list of the titles that have been acquired is shown, and those you haven't already claimed rewards for are listed in orange text. Click one and you'll receive the rewards and the ability to choose that title to proudly display above your operative's name. And then that's it. Select that flashy new title and pose heroically in the lobby, inspiring the envy and admiration of your fellow ARKs. After all, you've earned it, operative. Now, what I will say to...
We actually talked about this on the first episode of playing titles.
So it's like we saw into what the localization team was thinking of. But something I do want to bring up, which we kind of went over briefly a moment ago here. So titles are kind of interesting in that you get titles sometimes triggering other titles to happen. So every 100 titles that you get, you're going to get different items or other things attached to that. So, for example, I think at 100 titles you get like 5 photon crystals, and then so on. You get X cubes, you get some star gems eventually, and then what happens at around 1100 is you start to get these key items that let you really start to get some really powerful weapons. You get the Time Stone Chrono Reversal. You get a Circular Amphitite Stone at 1200, and then you get a Liberate Unlocker at 1300. And the thing of the matter is when it comes to all these titles, there's a large amount of titles. I think it's over 400, getting close to 500, that are based on grinding old type weapons. And I'm wondering if Sega is taking into account that fact, if they're going to reduce how many titles that you need to get those higher level titles or not, because a lot of those weapons are just unobtainable anymore to even obtain those titles. And it's also the same thing when it comes to the old Matterboard style as well, because each Matterboard that you cleared would get you a title, and then a full clear would get you yet another title. So I'm hoping that Sega is taking proper account of this.
Well, they could just reduce the requirement.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping that they've done, that they've brought it down by like maybe, what would you say, maybe 500, 600 titles would be fair? But yeah, that's kind of one of the concerns I have, and we're not going to know until somebody actually starts to get that high up in terms of the titles, and then maybe Sega will have to make adjustments later on after the fact, but we'll see how that all plays out. Aside from this, they also had a guide for enhancement for trainees. So, Winsock, why don't you go ahead and take this one here?
All right. First of all, we get introduced to the one NPC everyone's going to hate.
What are you looking for? Or what do you need?
Nani-okane.
So, you're getting... Okay, so let's go off by reading it. Enhancements is like if you remember item grinding back on the PSO version 1. I don't know if that was...
You see the final bosses.
Yeah. All right, so...
Monica, be scared.
Yeah. Okay, it goes, you're getting close to completing that solo quest for an achievement, but you still can't quite make it. What more can be done to achieve victory besides continuing to practice your skills? Well, the grinders in your inventory appear to be breeding, and you have a bit of Meseta saved up. Maybe it's time to finally give the item lab a visit and try to enhance your weapons more. After all, stronger gear means a stronger you. So this is on the first floor of the shop area. when you first go in, like when you first port in, you just walk and it's over on your left. Now there's 2 NPCs. They swap out.
It's actually dependent on what block you're on.
Yeah,
every even one is Monica, and every odd one is Dudu.
Correct. And depending on what block you're on, you're going to see Dudu or Monica. And I'd rather go to Monica than Dudu because I just hate hearing his voice. All right, so getting started, weapons, units, and rings can be enhanced at the Atom Lab. You can also raise a weapon's elemental level or element level, change the weapon's element, or unlock weapon potentials. To enhance weapons, you need to use other weapons as fodder, up to 5 at a time. So that's another reason why you want to keep weapons that are
lower rarity. Yeah,
lower rarity, yes, because you use that for boosting.
Also, best element is light.
Yes, light, because every boss at end game, nearly all of them are weak against light.
Yep. Eventually, they'll bring out the Lumen Mechs. That might be the only time that you might want to consider a dark element weapon. But yeah, I would totally agree. Go light first.
Yes. So let's continue on. So as well as provide Meseta and have the requisite number of consumable items or grinders on hand, not just in storage, for the synthesis. This will create enhancement experience for the weapon, and ultimately when the enhancement experience gauge is full, the enhancement level increases and the weapon becomes stronger. Now, with your in-game weapons, you will have up to plus 30. Then you have to unlock it to go up even more.
This is actually a quality of life thing I hope is in NA. They made it to where any 13-star or 14-star or 15-star that you pick up from a drop is guaranteed to have a max grind of 35.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Because that quality of life is so good.
Yep, I think the only time where it still appears as only plus 30 is when you're getting it off of like a collection file or something like that.
Or from bad shops.
Yeah. All right, let's continue on. To denote that an item has been enhanced, a number will appear at the end of the item's name. For instance, weapon name +1. So if you're wanting to know what grind level your weapon is, just look for the plus at the end of the weapon name. The number indicates the enhancement level of the item. Units are slightly different in then that you don't need to use an item as fodder, but instead you just supply grinders and Meseta. And the max for weapons units is +10.
And good luck getting to that without wasting millions of Meseta.
Yes. And this is part of the reason why I hate the grinding game.
Oh, by the way, also with the grinders on hand, it says not just in storage. If you have the material storage, that counts for having it on hand.
Yes, material storage will act as if it's in your personal inventory.
OT still exists? Really?
Huh.
I didn't run into any.
I don't remember OT in closed beta test. Huh.
If anything, I would say we might see him in like some of the older content that hasn't been updated in a while. We might see it like the extreme quests or things like that potentially.
Yeah, so the way of grinding weapons, the way that you grinded OT is the same way you grind units.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Because units are still considered old technology.
Yeah.
You want that brand new shiny sword, but your armor? Nah. We'll skip out on that. All right, so in attention, so we got depending on the weapons used as materials, there may be a bonus enhancement experience awarded when synthesizing. A material bonus is granted when the materials are from the same categories, of the same rarity, or are the exact same item, like the one being strengthened. An item enhancement bonus can always be dependent on when a material's item enhancement level is 1 or more, such as using an Alba Partisan +1 as a material, for instance. In addition to material bonuses, the enhancement may also result in a success or a great success. You'll rarely get the great success, so I wouldn't even really worry about it.
Yep. Well, those enhancement things in that Sonic pack can help you.
Yeah,
Yes.
50% ones. Yeah. A great success will grant more enhancement experience than usual, but there is no option to fail at enhancing a weapon. When you use more materials in the synthesis at the same time, you'll gain a greater bonus if a great success occurs. It is also possible to increase the chance of a great success occurring by using a support item that specifically increases that chance. As we just said, they're in the Sonic collaboration pack, Founders Pack. Weapons of an elemental nature. Now, every weapon has an element tied to it. And that is like why we said you always want to go light, because when you attack, it's attacking as light damage, or if you have fire, it's fire damage. You know, repeating down the list of elements: wind, ice, lightning, dark. And then we'll go from there. It says weapons of an elemental nature. Sharp-eyed operatives will notice that weapons can deal elemental damage. These elements come in varieties like fire or light, and the elemental levels indicates their strength. The higher the element level, the more damage it will do to an enemy. Furthermore, if the enemy happens to be weak to that element, it'll inflict even more damage. If you choose a fodder weapon with the exact same name as the weapon you'd like to increase the element level on, the element level will rise significantly. Using a weapon of the same name and element will cause it to rise even more. Element weapon levels are maxed at 50 for 12-star rarity weapons or lower. The weapon's element is set when it's first created or obtained, but it can be changed using certain consumable items.
And 13-star and above, their cap is 60.
Yep.
Yes.
And I believe several years back they made a change that 13-star and above just drops with 60 at this point. This is more something you'll be dealing with 12-star and less weapons.
Yes. All right, scroll down. Now we have great weapon expectations. Just like the hearts of ARK operatives, many weapons hold a hidden potential. Weapon potentials will impart benefits such as boosting attack power under certain conditions that change depending on the weapon type. Weapon potentials can be unlocked when enhancing a weapon from plus 10 to plus 11, plus 20 to plus 21, and from plus 30 to plus 31. So it's when you get over that threshold of going from the 10s to the teens, your single digits to your teens, and then the teens to 20, or 20s to 21, and then, you know, your 30s. Max
And
grind,
130.
yeah, max grind is 35. So if you don't, you know, if you get unlucky, no, it's an automatic, isn't it, for the weapon potentials?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so there you go. Unlocking a weapon potential requires setup materials such as photon spheres. In addition, weapon potentials have levels ranging from 1 to 3. The level can be raised when unlocking the next weapon potential. The higher the level of the weapon potential, the greater its effect. Scroll down a bit, and we'll talk about augment factor.
I'm going to note real quick as we're scrolling here that aside from photon spheres, you might be needing to find what are called photon boosters, ultimate boosters, or weaponoid boosters. And if you need something like that on a certain weapon and you don't have the item, then the option will be grayed out to you.
Yeah. All right. Wanted augment factors. Some weapons will unlock an augment factor when they reach the enhancement level of plus 35. Or those that played before, the grind. It's, you know, grind level 35.
Yep.
Just like normal augments, the unlock factor will have to be activated with materials via the affix augment function at the item lab. If you're curious about the factors a weapon may possess, you can check it from your inventory by using the confirm augment factor option available when selecting the weapon. Affixing augment factors and normal augments to weapons both follow the same rules. And then at the very bottom,
there's no PSO2S, so
yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. We can't wait to hear about your tales of adventures after enhancing your items. See you all at the Item Lab ARKS. So, yeah, weaponoid, there's no PSO2 yet, so I'm going to say we're only going to have to be worried about photon boosters and ultimate boosters.
yeah.
It's a shame if we're going to be losing weapons from that. I know for myself, I had a Silk Cloth's jet boots for a number of years because it had the innate ability to cast shift regardless of if your class could use techniques or not. And that's something that you'll learn eventually, that there are certain weapons out there that you can use for different abilities, even if you can't typically use them normally. They also Sega also put out one more guide here called A Rookie's Guide to Auxiliaries. Zance, you want to take that one?
Sure thing. Now, when in doubt, get the auxiliary out. Fully customize your trusted pocket-sized companion and dispatch him or her on task to help you with your never-ending quest. This is actually something that I completely forget that I have.
Same here.
Yep, and the only times I notice my auxiliary is like, oh, you just popped up in a random emergency code. Alright, cool. Do you have support lollies? Yes, exactly.
These guys are a little bit more functional than the old GH types that you might remember from Phantasy Star Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have client orders piling up? Well, turn that frown upside down, because an auxiliary is ready and willing to help. Auxiliaries can assist with various tasks, such as acquiring items for standing client orders, or helping to vanquish foes while exploring in a party. In addition, their appearance and disposition are customizable, so you're not stuck with a personality type that doesn't jive with your own. Yeah, I guess you could add them to your party if you wanted to. It's just the same as adding any NPC helper.
Support lollies.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. If you want your lolly, there you go, because they are even shorter than any.
Yeah.
I've used them more if they weren't restricted as much. Yeah, that's another problem. They're very restrictive.
And the one thing I will note is, and they're going to cover this a little bit lower, but you do need to level these guys up compared to regular NPCs and such.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like the normal support partners, you get that match your level when you go and grab them. This one does take time and resources to level up, because you can actually give it gear. That's another thing. You can fully equip them. So that's another thing to look out for.
Which is something I've never been that big of a fan of. It's the same thing with Final Fantasy XIV and the retainers. You give them gear to give them out, put them out into expositions, but I never liked doing that.
I think there it was just so that as a minimum eye level to actually take on certain missions. Here it's you actually need to level them up because they can actually join you out on the field and act as a combat partner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Never-ending customization. For those who thoroughly enjoyed the character creation process of PSO2, rejoice in another opportunity to use it. An auxiliary's appearance can be customized in the same way an operative would undergo a beauty treatment by heading to the beauty salon on the second floor of the shopping plaza. All accessories and hairstyles that are bound to the account are available when customizing auxiliary's appearance. That way, if you're not feeling confident enough for that eccentric hat, an auxiliary can model it in your stead. And there's a picture there showing your support lolly.
Yeah.
They just had to make it a female one too.
So even they wanted to do this here, because I think that's going to be like a knee high for a bunch of characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your pocket-sized roommate. Placing the auxiliary console furnishing in your personal quarters creates a permanent station for your companion. By accessing the auxiliary, you can give them exploration instructions, change their equipment, or just chat. A subclass for the auxiliary can even be selected via the auxiliary menu. After setting a subclass, that class will earn half of all experience earned by the auxiliary when out exploring. In addition, the auxiliary will be able to use the skills of the subclass in battle. If you require another auxiliary-specific furnishing, you can dismiss them from their original placement in order to call them to the new one. After all, the Chase Lounge might match the decor much better than the auxiliary console.
Yeah, so that's not the only place that you can put them. I think there are like chairs and like beds and things like that where you're able to put them.
Oh god, place them in beds.
Yeah.
The help every operative needs. In order to dispatch an auxiliary on a search, select auxiliaries from the personal terminal in your personal quarters, or from the options available when accessorying the auxiliary from a furnishing. After a set amount of time has passed, the auxiliary will return from the search and hand out whatever client orders items they have obtained. After embarking on repeated searches and developing their compatibilities, the auxiliary will be able to successfully locate items for more difficult orders, as well as grow in combat skills by gaining experience. Other players' NPCs are better. Auxiliaries are there to help out, but you can use other players' NPCs. If you have people in your friend list that have registered their character, then you just use them as NPCs instead. And it's a lot more useful.
Yeah.
Hand-me-downs. Did an unusable rare weapon drop, but you abhor the idea of using it as enhancement fodder? Give it to an auxiliary. Auxiliaries can be equipped with items and eggs from your inventory. Skill rings, however, cannot be equipped. An affinity will not increase for items equipped by an auxiliary. Depending on what type of weapon they're given, auxiliaries will change classes as needed to use the new gear. Employing an auxiliary is an even better way to achieve your goals in PSO2, even if they're only to have the best dressed exploration partner. Yeah, they're there. I have one made up that I did in CBT, but I really don't do much with it.
Pretty much the same. I think the only thing I really ever do is if I remember to do this before maintenance, I'll send them off to do a bunch of client orders for item collection. That's about it. I never fully leveled mine up across all of its classes.
Yeah, I might just grab a bunch of client orders from Frankus Cafe and just have them do it.
They seem to have more trouble taking on bosses than regular enemies, though.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so aside from those guides, the PSO2 team also put out a lot of information about how the closed beta test actually went. So let's bring up this one first here, CBT, a look back. Greetings, operatives. Today we take a look back at our closed beta test and share interesting facts about your choices and survey responses. Greetings, ARKS. A little over a month ago, you stepped into Phantasy Star Online 2 in North America for the first time. During that test period, you have joined the ARKS as one of 4 races and chose your first class to master. You've made new friends, watched a concert in the shopping plaza, and conquered urgent quests. More importantly, you shared your experiences with us, helping our efforts in finally bringing this beloved title to North America by voicing your opinions and concerns in the forums and the survey. Today we'd like to share some interesting facts about the closed beta test period and your survey responses. Again, thank you for taking the time to help us improve PSO2 North America and for your incredible support. We have read your responses and we are working hard to make sure you have the best experience possible as we continue to support PSO2 for years to come. So, your choices. Let's start by sharing the choices made by the community during the beta test weekend. With 4 unique races to choose from and 9 classes to master at any time, Phantasy Star Online 2 puts player choice first, encouraging experimentation even as you create your character for the first time. Here are some of your picks. So, for races, humans obviously were the big winner here. 35%, 0.50 were humans. Cats actually came in second, and I'm actually a little surprised by that. 24.20%, and then Newmans and Doomans were about 20% each here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Oh, hey, one talk, you want to go?
Yeah, I had something to add. I am very proud that we had over 50% population of male characters.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that too.
With this being which I hate categorizing this game as an anime game. It is not an anime game, but everyone says it is, so they always make the lolly characters.
Mm-hmm.
I am glad to see there's a lot more male characters out there, even more than the female characters now.
Yep.
now,
Yeah.
except for Doomans
And
and
Newmans.
Y'all failed me.
Hey, I'm a male Dooman.
So am I.
Male cast here.
Failed me.
Now you can afford clothes for your waifu. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. And as for classes, so Hunters took the number one slot on this, followed by Braver, and then you had Ranger at 16.40%, Bouncer 11.80%, Force at 10.30%, and Summoner at 9.30%. The last three, Fighter, Gunner, and Tector. The reason, or at least the reason we all suspect that this happened, is because those are not classes that you can choose from the start. You do have them available to you as soon as you get out to the main ARKS lobby, but they weren't. They're not on that initial list of the 6 that you can choose from, and that makes me wonder if players either didn't even know where that class counter was located, potentially.
Yeah.
Or they just wanted to pick a class and go.
Yeah. I did run into someone during the closed beta that they didn't have any of their skill tree done.
Oh yeah, because Hunter without the skill tree is so slow.
Yes.
Because if you don't have that gear, charging up one of your PAs, it takes a while to get to that full charge.
Yeah.
Once it's full, once you have that gear, boom, 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 boom. It's just pretty much instant.
Yep. That's why rings are also important.
Force best class.
I would agree with you if this was like episode 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I
Force
love
is still pretty
Force.
good.
I love Force, but I'm gonna go Hero, but I might mess around with Force Tekker again.
I might try Force because I've actually never played Force at all in PSO2, so I might.
Well,
better to
Doom,
not use SP until you know what you're doing. Exactly.
Yeah. On that Doom though, they hand skill reset passes out like candy on the JP servers. I'm hoping they do that with ours, but they just like hand them out like candy. Like I quit playing for 2 years. I came back and I had 11 of them waiting in my campaign awards.
Yep.
11 of them. They hand them out like crazy. So it's not, and you can use AC or no Star Gems to reset them.
I don't know that. I think, but
It's either AC or
I do
Star
know AC you buy new skill trees.
Yeah, I think it's AC.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I will be probably buying new skill trees purely because I would want one for Hunter as a main class and then one as Hunter as a subclass. Different builds. Oh yeah, compound text. That was a thing in episode 4.
Yeah, and typically it's whenever they do a rebalance of the class and they change up the tree. That's usually when they send out those all tree skill resets, and they give you one for each character that you own. So if you like to change your tree around a lot, you want to have some alts set up on your account. Did anybody test if you still get the 2 free alts, or if they reduce that or increase that?
I think it's also the 2 free alts.
Okay. Yeah, and then to create additional characters on top of that, I think it's like around 300 ARKS cash, so it's
500.
Okay, yeah, so it's not that expensive to do it, and the benefits are you get to do additional ARKS missions each week, plus you get access to the extra character storage. So it's definitely worth it if you need like space and such, and it's not that expensive to do either.
Yeah.
So progress. Here's how far you have reached during the closed beta test. Levels reached in a single class. It's too small of a percentage to appear on the graph, but 2 ARKS have actually reached level 75 during the beta test period. So 73.60% didn't even get past level 20. And then 22.70% got up to level 39. For 3.6%, that they got up to level 59. I'm in that bucket.
I'm in that group. I think all 3 of us were in that group.
And I was just on the cusp of hitting 62. If I had not focused on doing the Extreme Quest towers, then I probably would have made it to at least 60.
I think I was 50. I think I was 59 when I logged out. I was just on the cusp of hitting 60, or 55 actually. No, I was 55 because I got addicted to Rappy slots. I'm ashamed.
Please play responsibly. But if you're already winning big, why stop?
And keep in mind, you do get titles for being in the casino.
Yes. And you get alliance points, so do that for my alliance. Thank you.
And then
we need to build that tree.
Yep. So only 0.1% got up to level 60 to 74, and then, as they said before, only 2 players made it to level 75. I believe on the forum, the official forum, the 2 players that did that actually posted some footage from that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. They posted because they were streaming when it happened.
Yeah,
they were doing it. They were streaming, and he had uploaded the YouTube video because people were like, "Oh, my buddy hit 75." You know how those, things happen, where people are like, "Well, a friend of mine did it," blah blah blah, and everyone's like, "Yeah, a friend of yours, sure." Well, this guy actually submitted proof that he hit.
Yeah, Karma and Nitro,
75.
they were the ones who hit 75.
Yes, and they literally were doing it
Alliance,
correct
advanced
way.
quest, advanced missions. Yep.
They were doing advanced quests over and over and over. Now, me and Zance in our group, we actually did that, but we did it the wrong way.
By spending all of the capsules. Yeah.
To raise that cap up. Oh, God.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
2 days high.
I want to kind of segue from that a little bit. Don't forget to pre-download tomorrow at 10 Pacific time. They're going to launch the download for open beta.
And it will be on the Microsoft Store.
Yes. So don't forget to download the update.
Yep, definitely. Yes. After that, then they have your responses. Thank you for participating in our survey. We have read your feedback and are considering the steps to make sure your voices are heard as we prepare for the launch sometime this spring. Here is some interesting data based on your responses. So, other Phantasy Star titles. Phantasy Star is a legendary franchise with over 3 decades of history since it debuted in Japan in 1987. Here are other games in that franchise that beta testers have played. And so,
I played all of them.
Pretty much the same here. But Phantasy Star Universe is on top at 19.19%. Followed by Phantasy Star Online at 18.81%, and those are including all editions of the game.
Oh yeah, there
I
are so
wish
many versions.
I wish they broke it down from Dreamcast on GameCube and on Xbox and
and on
PC.
PC and on Blue Burst.
Yeah,
Yes, there's 2 different PC versions. There's PSO PC and Blue Burst, which are 2 completely
PSO
separate.
PC is just
versions
version 2.
of PSO. Yeah, like I like considering GameCube. Like, okay, so with Dreamcast you got version 1 and version 2. GameCube, episode 1 and 2, I consider that version 3. Version 4, I guess, would be the card game. I guess.
Episode 3 was, yeah.
Yeah, and then version 5 being Blue Burst. So yeah, there's 5 different versions of PSO.
Yeah, and plus you couldn't carry your progress from version 2 into the GameCube Xbox version. Same.
Nope, completely different characters, all tied to your memory
And then
card.
Blue Burst changed it all again, and in addition to that, they changed how the section ID worked in that version, which meant you can't use the same names
And they made
anymore.
it online only. Yep, and it was online only, so instead of being offline and online.
Following that, then the original Phantasy Star on the Sega Master System Mark III, as well as Phantasy Star 2, those were the next 2 highest games. And then you got Phantasy Star Portable at 8%.
That was the one I started with.
And then the next one is, I've never played a Phantasy Star game before now, so we're also going to get a bunch of new players who have never experienced this series before. I'm hoping that, once they see how this game is, they're going to take the opportunity to look back at the historical significance of this series. Because keep in mind, this game has won accolades. Several years ago, at the Smithsonian Institute of Art, they did a feature on video games called "The Art of Video Games," and both Phantasy Star and Phantasy Star End of the Millennium were both featured in that. That is huge for an American institution like that to recognize Japanese games like that.
Oh yes.
And End of the Millennium is so damn good.
And with my own lore and timeline theories, it's things are going to be getting crazy once we get to the end of episode 6, I think. But that's a topic for a different day.
Yeah, because if they bring back Lasek, oh my god.
Also, I want to apologize for all of us that's in that 5% for playing episode Phantasy Star 3. Condolences.
That's not bad. Here's the thing, though. We can't consider that the black sheep of the series anymore. And that's because of what Sega of America did several years back. I think it was 2014 or 2015, whereby they put out a little Flash game on April 1st called Rappy Bird, and that was a spoof of the Flappy Bird game, and it was quite literally a Phantasy Star 3 Rappy that was flying through Green Hill Zone there. So we can't consider Generations of Doom the black sheep of the series anymore.
We need to go and find that Flash game if they still have it somewhere.
I tried looking for it a while back. The file is down, but I do have a clip of it somewhere. I would have to find it again.
Okay.
All right. So.
All right.
And then, of course, they had a further survey here asking if players were going to continue playing, and the large majority, of course, were going to play on the Xbox, of course, because, Xbox version, that was what the closed beta test was, so that makes sense. And then you've got...
kind of skewed on that.
Yeah. And then you've got options for planning to play on the PC and the play on both versions. And then only 0.16% said they were not going to play it further. So
they're gonna miss out. Jeez.
I think I would say that's a pretty good survey result for this game in the West.
Now, I do have to add, I would love to see the same survey after PC launch and see how different it will be. If they do the exact same survey and give it to Xbox and PC players, because I want to know the statistics of how many Xbox players there are versus PC players.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of. I
would love to see.
We were gonna get to go ahead.
No, I was saying go ahead.
So we were gonna get to this a little bit later, but I might as well bring it up now here. Regarding the PC version, we still don't have a firm date on this yet, but we do know. And they've reconfirmed this recently. PC will be available spring 2020. Now, that can be anywhere from March to June, so keep that in mind. But, at the same time, they've had a PC version developed for years. I mean, that's how they started this game. So, honestly, given they've had a PC version for that long, it would not surprise me at all if they decided they don't have to test the PC version, because they could just do whatever server testing they needed for that to make sure everything hooks up correctly internally. So it's possible at launch we might see the PC version ready to go there. But we'll have to see how that all plays out. There is that window of March to June, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for at this point.
And my assumption is that the full release is basically what the PC release at. They're going to do a small maintenance, and then the full release is going to include PC.
So, me and a buddy were talking about this, usually about how Xbox games that are on PC as well usually work, is you'll normally see the Xbox game come out, and then a month later the PC version does. I actually just posted this on the PSO2 forums. We were doing a discussion about it. It is my speculation, but that's usually how they do it. And on that topic, I agree with you, Zero. I wish they would do a test for PC just for crossplay compatibility to see if there's any issues. But I can see PC coming about 2 weeks to a month after Xbox full release. And that's full release. That's not open beta, but like at the full release, I can see that happening.
Because wasn't that the way that Sea of Thieves was handled? Or I'm remembering incorrectly. I don't know.
I've never played CFD, so I can't comment on that. But that's usually how a lot of the Xbox titles are. And for those of you that are bashing Microsoft over this, just to inform y'all, Microsoft has zero control over the development of the NA release. Sega of Japan is handling all of it. It's just hosted on the Azure cloud.
Yep. Microsoft just threw a lot of money to actually make this happen. So that's it.
Yeah, Doom, I would agree with that. About a month and a half to 2 months.
I'm hoping it's not that long, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I ended up buying an Xbox just for this.
Oh yeah, same.
I'm still going to sell it once
I'm not.
PC version comes out. No.
I'm a collector. I'm not going to get rid of mine.
Yeah.
Oh, I am a PC player. I quit consoles after Dreamcast and the original Xbox.
I've been a console player since I was able to play on PC like properly back in 2017. So I like my consoles.
All right, but going from that, let's see.
I believe they did put out one more article here, so let's go ahead and flip over to that.
Yes.
They're B-Log.
Yeah. And which of you wants to take this?
I will. Today, we take a look back at the closed beta test. Join us for a very special B-Log, where we recap that unique weekend and share our hopes for what comes next. The anticipation hanging in the air on the morning of Friday, February 7th was almost palpable. Coffee had been made, social media pages had been opened, and the PSO2 team sat excitedly waiting for the gates to open. First, the official website and forum launched, and we feasted on the first glimpse of our community in action. So different from the pieces of thoughts glimpsed on Twitter and Facebook. These were organic conversations taking place in real time. People sharing thoughts and concerns, impressions and hopes. Later, the true test was upon us, or rather, the servers. As thousands of players clicked the same button simultaneously, bringing them into the closed beta test and the world of Oracle. Insert meme of Eric Andre saying, "Let me in! Let me in!"
Yeah, I love how they're memeing on themselves
Yep.
because of this.
Could be hard to resell said console as it's technically end of life. Oh yeah, that is true. If you were around for the opening of the ships, then you were aware that we had a few more participants than anticipated. While you might think that we were thrilled to have the problem of so many people wanting to join ARKS, our main concern was the community, who we suffered alongside as we had to wait for them to see the PSO2 environment. We gathered around monitors displaying charming streamers as they expertly engaged their viewers during the town time. Which, by the way, during that town time, what did you guys do during
I
that?
hopped over to the Japanese servers.
And Winsock?
I installed Blueburst.
Yeah, I was playing other PSO, like I was playing other Phantasy Star related games. I was playing Blueburst. I decided to play some Portable 2. Yeah, the servers were brought to their knees. It was oof.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, probably get $50 back selling it back. Well, I only spent $50 for this Xbox, so I would just get my money right back. So many hamsters tied on the wheel. The truly amazing thing was that those we watched were maintaining a happy and, dare we say, proud attitude. Our community was simply proud that so many people wanted to play this game that have waited so long for. In hindsight, this may be what is responsible for making the growing PSO2 community such a strong entity, the bonds shared by passionate longtime fans of the franchise serving as the foundation. If you couldn't wait 8 years and played PSO2 before, we understand. If you waited all this time to finally play it, we appreciate your excitement and anticipation. Either way, if you joined us for the closed beta test, then you are a part of this foundation, one made of the first and most dedicated ARKS members. And they're showing off photon chairs. Hey! By the way, get those photon chairs from the fun shop.
Yep,
they're
definitely.
great. You can get the light blue one to rep Skyline. Woo. Fortunately, Rafflecopter. Okay. Fortunately, after the maintenance, the number of issues reportedly shrunk drastically, and the servers went from inaccessible to flawless, or at least as flawless as can be anticipated for a closed beta test. Yes, it even stood up to quite a few of you jumping simultaneously in the same location. I actually remember seeing clips of that. So many people in photon chairs or just regular jumping at Rebecca.
Yep, and I'm going to interject here real quick about the history of the Japanese beta tests. Actually, one of the sort of the same kind of thing happened, whereby the servers just became completely unstable during those tests, and what it was found that caused that was people were sitting down in too many places. So it's really funny that they put this image here, and basically in order to fix it, they had to completely rewrite how their database worked. That was not a fast fix for them.
We can jump, yep. Wow, that's honestly surprising. Like, just because people were sitting too much.
Yeah, the lobby used to have a lot more chairs in it.
In that moment of collective jumping, we believe PSO2 captured the simple joy of the early 2000s MMO games, which seem to have somehow been resurrected in our ships. I wouldn't say that, but okay. Chat bubbles flew as people asked questions and joked, while circles of dancing characters started to form. You explored the symbol art system and used it to entertain your fellows, and also used it in some ways that we'll have to strictly address moving forward, you piece of...
way to get angry there. So, I want to interject there. I'm pretty sure... I'm not sure how many mods are going to be on during open beta and official release. But if you get reported for inappropriate symbol arts, they said that is a bannable offense. So be careful what you make in a symbol art and post it. If you play it on the Japanese servers, they're not going to allow about 90% of the ones you see there.
Yeah, there's a lot of movements in the JP server, especially Ship 2 Block 7. Yeah. Oh, God.
They technically wouldn't even have to see it in-game. Each symbol art you create gets its own unique ID on the server. So they could potentially just look at that outside the game and just see which ones don't look appropriate and just start banning from there.
See, I was talking about this on one of the Discord servers because there is an application that you can run that'll filter through images for pornography, and it is set up to find those files and flag them.
If it's anything like the website Is This Porn, then it's going to be shit.
No, we have it at my job, and it works fairly good, but. We were talking about it because they're like, oh, well, they'll have to get a screen cap of the user actually saying it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I thought the symbol arts were stored server side because I've re-imaged my computer, new hard drive.
Start too. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can probably say goodbye to emergency code distraction.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately. No more distraction.
Oh, no. Anyway, continue.
But to be warned, do not do those symbol arts.
Yeah. Have the meme ones. Those are fine. Continuing on. The feeling of a lively digital world has been restored and the interactions were visible to the naked eye. To be poetic, it was like watching a flower blossom outside of its blooming season. Continuing on here. Perhaps the most memorable moment for many, we couldn't count at the time, took place when a group of ARKs in the shopping plaza were watching the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog. God damn it.
I'm wondering if they're referring to Maximilian there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because he spent time just with a large group of people just watching the trailer. By the way, I did see the movie. It was actually pretty good.
I haven't seen it yet. I've been meaning to. I might see it next weekend.
I'm probably gonna catch it at home whenever it releases.
All right. This was quickly followed by a live Kuna concert, and as the sparkles and blue lights faded, the shopping plaza was suddenly awash in red, the sirens blared, and the loudspeakers announced an urgent quest. Players ran together to the quest counter in nervous anticipation. The rapid succession of events have created a moment in public unity felt by all. Another glimpse we caught of the shared experience of our community featured about 20 bouncing photon chairs in the gate area, and the chat bubbles flying with questions of where'd you get those? And yeah, they're at the Funtorium.
Yep, and what you'll learn quickly is all the concerts are typically followed by an urgent quest almost no more than like 30 minutes after.
15 minutes. It's usually about 15 minutes. Although I have had some concerts, specifically like the Persona concerts, that didn't have anything afterwards. It was just you get a boost. And you watch those concerts just so you have that Morgana costume.
Yeah, we'll see if...
Which I hope they have those Persona concerts. I want my Morgana suit.
We'll see if they bring those over or not. It would actually be good to coincide with the release of Royal.
Exactly. Looking ahead, as we look back at the closed beta test, it is with fond memories, but also anticipation for the future. We've seen the antics of our community and can't wait to see you in action again. What other group experiences will you have? How else will you find ways to amuse yourself and us? In what new ways will you bond with strangers, rehabilitating the camaraderie of bygone days in online gaming? Only time will tell. Yes, bond with strangers and yell at them because they're doing terrible DPS and keep dying all the time.
Well, there are ways around that, and that's the topic for another day. But we do have one other thing that we need to bring up, even though it wasn't on the list today. But I'm going to bring that up now here, and that...
you want to switch back to the
no, we're doing this here first here. So,
okay.
Achievements.
Oh yes, the achievements.
Yep. So the information about the initial achievements have been revealed, and what we know is that these are the episode 1 achievements, and the reason we know that is because the rest of the episodes are not available yet on the list, even though they are on this list. This list is combines both the Xbox and the PlayStation versions together, but this is not confirmation of the PlayStation version for the North America yet. This is the combination of both Eastern and Western versions together on this single page, basically. So, in terms of what you've got, so each of these has 35 gamer score attached to them, except for one. But basically, we start with on an endless adventure once again, and this is just proof of clearing a quest in multiplayer. You've got a lot of just sort of standard stuff in here that you're going to run across. So, triggering a PSE burst, getting a weapon to +10 enhancement, doing a photon blast, entering an alliance quarters, which is basically your guild function in the game. Trick darts, that is a room item that you can pick up, and what you have to do there is basically you're just going to have to keep playing that over and over until you actually get the high score, and unfortunately it's pure RNG. I've heard of people that go for hours and don't actually get this one. And then there's proof of killing various bosses, getting your main class as the different episode 1 classes up to level 30 or higher, proof of clearing a quest with Kuna, proof of killing Falls Hunal, or Hunar if you remember the Japanese version, proof of killing Chrome Dragon, and the 150.1, proof of having failed at armor enhancement. This is where you're going to learn to hate Dudu and Monica.
Yay!
Yep.
So, yeah, the reason you don't see a Braver or Summoner on this list is because they were episode 2 and episode 3 achievements. So, actually, these are marked off for episode 2 and episode 3. So, so maybe they actually are in here. Maybe something got updated that I missed.
And yeah, that is weird how all the achievement icons form the body.
Yep.
And just one individually is very weird. Yes, I got the butt.
Yeah, it's a huge stack of characters here too as well. In fact, you can see some of them kind of meld into each other as we go down here. So it's a really tall picture you got for episode 1, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything. So I'm going to take us back to the main scene now here. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at. Once again, open beta starts this March 17th, this Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And I see there's Zance, so
Yeah, I'm laughing to myself right now. I just saw it.
I tried to cue you, but okay.
Okay. I'll wear it normally.
But yeah, so yeah, basically it's just a 2-day wait at this point. Well, 2.5 day actually. And then servers go live. We don't have an end date for this. The expectation is probably we're going to be going for, and this is just my expectation. We're probably going to be going for about a week, and then they're going to take the servers down for maintenance, and then we're going to be released at that point. Then that's exactly how they handled it for the Japanese version back in the day.
Yeah, soft launch, open beta rolls into release with a maintenance window right before.
Yep, and I hope that's the case. And like I said, I hope the full release includes PC.
I am more in. I'm thinking it's not. I don't think there's going to be a full release on PC at Xbox release. I'm believing it's going to be 2 weeks to a month after Xbox release.
We'll see.
We shall see. Alright, and so that brings us to the end of our second episode, unless anybody else wants to bring anything else up.
All three of us will be streaming this live when the open beta test starts. So
Yep, definitely.
Yes. I was planning on being off Wednesday through Friday, but coronavirus decided it was not going to allow me because I work at a hospital and now I'm demanded to work.
It'll be on the Xbox market tomorrow at 10 PDT.
Yes. So that would be
12 for
12 Central, 1 Eastern.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and also because of Corona, I have this week extended for my spring break, so I'm just going to be playing PSO2. So, hey, I'll be streaming this a lot this coming week. You can expect me to be live with it probably for like 7 hours each day or so.
Yeah, I'll be doing full days as well. I'll start Tuesday evening. I'm probably actually going to be sleeping during the afternoons, and then doing my gaming sessions through the late night. But we'll see how that all plays out. I may still do it during the day as well. Depends upon really when I decide to go to sleep each day.
Yeah.
But that brings us to the end of our second episode. On behalf of Winsock, Zance, and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
See ya.
Adios.